Well, one person Australia will be very, very happy to have back in the side at Old Trafford is Steve Smith, who seems to be fully recovered now from his delayed concussion. There's been a bit of a talk. He spoke for the first time this week and said that he's not going to change the way he plays the bouncer, and it just means he's not going to be nicking off. They're not going to be getting him out that way. But is there a chance that having had that kind of experience against Jofra Archer going to affect him in some way? We've seen it affect some batsmen before. Butch, is he the sort of player that you think it could just affect a little bit?
Look, it won't affect him the same way that it affected Stuart Broad all those years ago, so forget that. Look, psychologically, there will be something in there for sure. And because Jofra is exceptional in terms of pace and accuracy, he will cause him problems with the short ball again. I have no doubt about that. But, I mean, Steve Smith is an exceptional player, very, very mentally tough. And so I don't expect it to have the sort of effect that you'd be able to stand there in the stands and go, wow, he's moving, he's disappearing off the square leg here and doesn't fancy it. That will not be the case at all. Brilliant little byplay between the two of them, him saying that, Jofra hasn't even got me out yet. Jofra says, bit difficult when you're not playing, mate. So, the barbs are starting to fly a little bit. The series is hotting up. And it's something that you won't be able to take your eyes off. But listen, expect England perhaps to go for a little bit of double bluff with Steve Smith when he first comes in. He'll be expecting a barrage. Maybe they won't let him have it. But it's going to be compelling either way.
Yeah, how do you think England will handle it, George? Because obviously there were so many questions the first couple of tests. It's all about how do we get Steve Smith out. It's proved to be really, really difficult. They've had a taste of one way that they've been able to discomfort him. Is there a chance they might overplay their hand that way?
Yeah. But I think that there were specific circumstances in which he was hit. It was a slightly two-paced wicket, wasn't it? Archer's obviously fantastic and was bowling really sharp. But I wouldn't read too much into it. Sooner or later, most people get hit, and I would back him every time to respond. And no, I don't think he'd be scared at all.
Well, he's almost more than most players. I guess you could compare it to almost like Stokes when he played that innings as well at Headingley, in being able to be in that bubble that almost seems impenetrable with everything going on about him. He's that kind of player, isn't he?
He is. I mean, the other thing to hold into account or to take into account is going to be the surface at Old Trafford. Generally the quickest and bounciest tracks in the country, but also the truest. So, you're not going to have the issue with not knowing whether to duck, not knowing whether to sway in the same way that you did at Lord's, which was another poor track, I'm afraid, at HQ. And that's part of the reason why so many players were getting hit. But also, we're seeing it's a trend at the moment. Guys are getting hit in the nets, guys are getting hit in matches. Technically, people play the short ball slightly differently than they did in the old days. But Steve Smith, funnily enough, is not one of them. He goes back and across. Everybody else is diving forward at the ball. So, again, slight aberration. I wouldn't imagine it's something that's going to be bothering him too much. But it is something that England have to their advantage in terms of making sure that Jofra is ready to go the minute he walks to the crease.
I think Jofra's a bit better than just reverting to the bouncer immediately. I think he's a fantastically clever, skillful man who is steeped in the art of fast bowling, so I think he will try and move the ball. The way you get Smith is by swinging the ball, and the ball hasn't swung. Not in the last 2 or 3 series they played against him. And it will seem a bit, I expect, but I don't know, maybe it won't even at Manchester. I would worry about that from an England perspective. I think the next 2 pitches probably suit Australia more than England, and I would back Smith in particular to do very well. But, it is a really exciting battle. Did you ever get hit badly?
Yeah, real bad. Got the scars to prove it.
Oh, right, yeah.
So what happened then when you came back?
When I came back, I got 100 in the next innings in the first
Hey,
innings.
There you go.
almost like I set it up.
Almost.
But was there a moment? Was there a moment, say, when you faced your first short ball after it? Was there any change?
You wouldn't have to wait for long in Australia,
No,
would you?
I didn't. But it was because I knew I'd made a mistake. The error was mine. So the initial thing was just a bit of embarrassment that I'd messed up. But then after that, it was okay.
Who hit you?
Matt Nicholson back in '98.
If only we had someone to talk to about scoring runs in the 4th innings at Leeds.
I'll tell you what, no, but get away from that for a second,
Yeah.
because the other thing that England have to remember is that Jack Leach is a very, very good left-arm spin bowler. Pitches at Old Trafford, turn and bounce.
He's there to get
And he's
out,
there
Smith.
for Steve Smith. So let's not put all our eggs in one basket. Jofra Archer is not the only animal out there that might be able to cause him some discomfort.
One thing that I found interesting as well, though, is with Steve Smith. So I was there when he was talking about this the other day, talking about the stem guard and saying he was going to try it out, wear it again. But his description of what it's like to wear it, his heart rate going up like 30 or 40 beats, and feeling like he was in an MRI chamber.
We'll have to get used to it.
He's going to have to, but that's with someone who's so like pernickety in all of his fidgets and shoelaces and stuff. That's something that's clearly discomforting.
All the England batsmen, well, several of the England batsmen, certainly Alistair Cook, Jonathan Trott, complained about the new helmets which were brought in by the ECB 3 years ago, whatever it was, and they didn't want to. And both of them were forced to change helmets in championship games, do you remember? And you just got to get used to it. And I'm sure they will. It's like driving a new car. You know, give it 10 hours or something. You won't remember what it used to be like. Listen, the option is a bit of discomfort, which you'll probably get used to, or the potential of someone dying. It's not a difficult decision.
I think he's the same way, but it's just interesting hearing just how much it almost physically seemed to affect him. So,
Right, I mean, the other argument from a batsman's point of view is that if you're not comfortable, you're more likely to get hit.
oh, well, we'll find out, I guess. Hopefully, we will just see another brilliant battle as well between Jofra Archer and Steve Smith, because that was certainly a highlight at Lord's. We will see if that transpires again at Manchester when the fourth test takes place.